Test. Yeah.
All right, we're good. When I point at you. When I point at you. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome here to Phelps Field. I'm Zach Kastrick. I'm joined alongside Hunter Valapek. Hunter, we have a top 3 matchup today. Number 1, Westside, depending on where you look. Some polls have them at 2. We're going with 1. Elkhorn South, the Storm at 3. This is expecting to be shaping up as a really good one. Rematch of last year's state title game, which went completely one-sided, Hunter. What are your initial reactions to this Storm team, and what do you expect tonight?
Yeah, this game has been circled up on the calendar all year for everybody. This is the game of the year in Westside. Elkhorn South is coming in with a chip on their shoulder. 56-0 last year in the state championship game. Absolute blowout. They want to come back and get revenge here at Westside, and this is the perfect time to do it. If they can knock off the number 1 Warriors, it'll shoot them up to probably number 2, maybe even number 1. But right now, they need to focus up, play their toughest football that they can, and just stay in the game. Westside has a really balanced offense, and Elkhorn South's defense has been really solid all year, only giving up 33 points all season, and at the most 14. They need to keep playing their game. They need to control the tempo. They need to play their style of football, and they can win.
I mean, these are the last 2 undefeated teams here in this state right now in Class A. Westside is undefeated, and so is Elkhorn South, because Millard South, the number 2 team in the state, they went down to Arizona, and they actually lost to the top-ranked team in Arizona. So this may kind of be a battle for number 1. I would imagine if Elkhorn South wins this, they jump to 2, Millard South jumps to 1, and Westside may fall to 3. But, Hunter, as we know, Westside's a really good team. They haven't lost at home in forever. They have 26 straight games in a row. The state record in Class A is 28 straight wins. So if Westside can close out this regular season undefeated, they will be the new state record holders for the most wins in a season. Hunter, what can you tell us about this Westside team, and who's going to lead this offense tonight?
Yeah, Westside's been really resilient all year. There's a reason they've won 26 games in a row. Head coach Paul Lamangi, he has led this team to back-to-back state championships, including last year when they beat them. But also, they've had really talented offenses and really talented defenses. Westside's going to have to run their game tonight on the offense. It's going to start with quarterback Braylon Warren, over 1,200 passing yards, and I believe 17 touchdowns, I believe, 15 touchdowns. But the offense is going to run through him and Tay Jenkins, the running back. He has over 600 yards and a few TDs of his own. So Westside has a really balanced run and ground attack, which really stumbles up many teams that they've played. Usually, coming back to when Lamanji was first hired in 2022, he's been a balanced attacker, and he's had the tools to do so. Now Keenan Cotton, he's the number one receiver on Westside. Eli Johnson, Titan Glassman, they have a really good receiving core, a really deep room. They have a two running back duo in Tay Jenkins and Finn Christensen, and they have the sophomore Braylon Warren slinging the rock, who is also really good.
And Elkhorn South on offense, they're not as balanced as Westside. They're much heavy ground game team. They're going to be led by Gavin Shanahan tonight. He's going to be in number 24. He's got nearly 100 carries on the year, but he's got nearly 800 yards, averaging over almost over 8 yards per carry this year. So that's where Elkhorn South's going to have to get their offense. They got to get Gavin Shanahan going if they want to win tonight.
Yeah, Shanahan has been absolutely electric on the ground game this year. They have propelled Elkhorn South to the 6-0 record. And Westside knows Elkhorn South has a good ground attack, and they're going to play it well. They have been having a little trouble on those outside runs, but they have managed to gap the inside. But Westside is losing a key piece for today. Defensive lineman Cam Bell, he is out for unknown reasons, but we learned that he was out coming into today. But that's a big piece lost for Westside, and it could open up some gaps for the Elkhorn South running game.
That's for sure. You mentioned they're going to force Elkhorn South to pass the ball, and their quarterback, Madden Riggs. He played in last year's state championship game. He went 2 for 12 with 41 yards and an interception that was actually returned for a touchdown by Christian Jones. But he went out early in that game. He ended up going to the hospital, actually. He had a head injury. Jonquil Osler, a Westside defensive lineman last year, hit him, and he unfortunately took a big blow to the head, which resulted in the ambulance coming on the field, and they ended up taking him into the hospital. So it's good to see that he's okay, but he's only got 80 passing attempts on the year, under 1,000 yards. So by no means is he the best quarterback in the state, but he's not bad. But it's obvious that Paul Lamanji and this Westside team is going to force them to throw the ball. But we're going to actually take a quick break here. Elkhorn South is coming out of the tunnel, and Westside will not be far behind them. So we will join you back here with the start of the kickoff in just a few minutes. Welcome back here on the WTV Live Network. Zach Kastrick alongside me is Hunter Valapek. And Hunter, boy, do we have a good one for us. Number 1 versus number 3. Let's get things going.
Yeah, this will be an absolute great game today. Number 1, number 3, game of the year for both teams in a rematch of state championship of last season, 56-0 Westside in the biggest blowout in Class A history. Westside leads the all-time series 4-0 as Elkhorn South is a recently promoted Class A team getting promoted in 2018. They're looking to go undefeated for the first time since 2016 and 2017. The last time they played before that state championship game last year was a state championship game in 2020, the COVID year, where they did play the state championship game at this field, and Westside won 38-24, where Cole Payton was their quarterback at the time. He's now at NDSU, and led Westside to their first state title of now could be 4. They've won back-to-back years. Elkhorn South will kick off here to begin the game, and we have a dual threat here, Zach. Keenan Cotton and Tay Jenkins, both with 2 kickoff return touchdowns on the year. So if either of them can get a big return here, a big chunk return, this will spin the crowd on their head and make it an electric atmosphere for the first play of the game.
Yeah, Hunter, these are the 2 best returners I've seen in my years of watching high school football. I've never seen a more dynamic duo back there returning kicks. And right here, this is exactly what Westside needs. They start with the offense. They're going to go out there, and they got to score. Back to kick, Brody Parks for the Storm. Short punt. It's going to go to Tay Jenkins on the left side. He's 15-20. He hits a hole to the 30. Left sideline up to the 40 before he's dragged out of bounds. Hunter, that is exactly what Westside's looking for, an electric start on a kickoff.
Yeah, he found the open hole there and punched it through. A great job by the Elkhorn South defender and make the open field tackle, not give up any more. Westside will get good field position at the 41-yard line. And here comes Braylon Warren. He's the key to this offense, and as long as he can do well, it will be a good day for Westside, but Elkhorn South's student section will not make it easy for him. It's a packed house here at Phelps Field. Over 2,000, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I would say over 2,000 for sure. Braylon Warren, shotgun snap, handoff, Tay Jenkins up near the 50, still breaking tackles before he's hit hard in the backfield for a gain of about 10-15, and that will move the chains. It'll be 1st and 10 still.
Westside's going to have to rely on these chunk plays here. They're gonna hand the ball off to Tay Jenkins a good amount and get him a lot of rushing yards.
That one's another handoff for Tay Jenkins. That one's going to be about a pickup of 3 on 1st down. That'll bring up 2nd and 7.
For Elkhorn South, this defense relies on their front 7. If they can get good pressure on the quarterback, it'll be a hard time for Braylon Warren. And if they can stop Tay Jenkins and clog up the holes, it'll be a hard day for Westside's offense. They'll probably have to air it out a bit more.
It's 2nd. Braylon Warren breaks a tackle in the backfield, still on his feet, and he's going to get up near the line of scrimmage before he's dragged down. That'll bring up 3rd and long. This is exactly how you want to start if you're Elkhorn South. Get Westside behind the chains early. Yeah,
just like what I just said, it's going to rely on that front 7. They got pressure there early. Probably got that right end, got around the left tackle and knocked down Braylon Warren, got initial contact, and he was a little bit discombobulated after that. And it's only a loss of 1, which is good for Westside. But
Braylon Warren in the shotgun, Tay Jenkins on his right hip. He'll drop back, deep drop back, looking right downfield for Keenan Cotton. The ball's going to be underthrown. Good coverage out there on the edge by Landon Tate. He was one of the few players that made a big impact on what you could say is a pretty disappointing state game last year. That's your number 1 corner on the outside, and that's how you guard Keenan Cotton right there.
Yeah, just good coverage. A little bit of contact, but a bit underthrown ball there by Warren, and it'll force an early Westside punt. Owen Wright on to it, and it's a good stop for Elkhorn South, and now they need to put that momentum on the offensive end.
That's exactly right, Hunter. I don't think anybody yet this year has stopped Westside on the opening possession except for maybe Omaha North in week 1. That's a line drive punt by Owen Wright, and it'll roll down inside the 5. Westside is there, and they're going to down it at the 1-yard line. What a kick by Owen Wright, and what good coverage out there. I see Joe Simon and a couple of other Westside players, Quentin Warren. What a start for the Westside special teams. Not something you see often, especially on the punt.
Growing up here in the Midwest, I always have a phrase that I use for my football team. Punting is winning. And he just used that right there. A nice line drive punt. A good run by the coverage team to knock it down at the 1, maybe even the half-yard line. And now Elkhorn South's in the shadow of their own end zone.
Now Madden Riggs is out there. He's going to hand the ball off, and that's only going to be a gain of about 3 or 4 before Westside drags him down at about the 5. On the carry was Gavin Shanahan.
Yeah, this offense is going to run through Shanahan a good amount, but it does give him a little bit of breathing room. Got him out to maybe the 6 or the 7. So 2nd and 4, and Elkhorn South's going to probably drain a lot of clock and take these long drives in, and hopefully for them score a touchdown.
Another handoff by Riggs to Shanahan once again, and in there on the stop, Quentin Warren. Blake Kiefer blows that play up. That's going to be a gain of maybe 1. Now 3rd and medium for this Storm football team.
Yeah, this linebacking core is electric for Westside. Nebraska commit Christian Jones, number 1 player in the state of Nebraska in the class of 2025, and a 4-star. Johnny Hurtado, he comes back after an injury. He's the middle linebacker. And then Quentin Warren and Blake Kiefer, who switch off on that outside linebacker.
Riggs hands it off to Shanahan, right up near the marker, and the initial spot is he's going to be short, and that's going to bring up 4th and 1.
Now there's a decision here if you're, and it looks like they're going to bring out the punt team here. It's 4th and short.
You got to punt inside your own 10-yard line, considering how dominant they are.
No, it is not, but it looks like Keenan Cotton's not going to return this punt. It's going to be Reed McIntyre for the punt return.
Keenan Cotton is back to return, standing on to boot away this punt.
Westside has blocked a couple of punts this season.
Good punt by Parks. Keenan Cotton runs over, grabs it, avoids initial hit before he hits his own player, and he's going to be blown up at the 43-yard line, but still good field position for these Westside Warriors. And I can tell you one thing, Hunter, Elkhorn South, their fans and students did not come jokingly. They're here in full force.
No, any good hit on the quarterback especially is going to be met with cheers and applause. It's a blackout for the student section of Elkhorn South, even though Westside is wearing their black uniforms today. And any type of momentum will go a long way for Elkhorn South, as they want absolute total revenge on Westside from last season. And this is probably the best.
Left hip. Warren looks left, pressure comes, he gets rid of it, looking for Keenan Cotton. Jump ball falls incomplete. No flag on the play. Once again, Landon Tate in coverage.
That was a pretty good pass there by Warren. Under pressure, had somebody on his blind side. Managed to get it up a little too high though, and gave Tate time to block it down. Keenan Cotton nearly made the leaping grab, but 2nd and 10. You need a bit, probably good first down plays here if you're Westside if you want to score quick.
Warren shotgun snap, pitches it to Tate Jenkins, right side, finds a crease before he gets up near the 1st down marker, and he's going to have enough yards to move the chains.
Tate Jenkins is only 5'8", 175. I kind of compare him to James Ross last year's running back. He's a bit more shifty. He's smaller, but he has good open field speed. If you're not careful, he will juke you out.
That one's Finn Christensen on the carry. He meets a wall of Storm defenders at the 15. 7:40 left to play here in the first quarter. Westside threatening to score.
Yeah, at the 27. Now, it will matter right now, but it will matter later in the game. You need as many points on as many drives as you can here if you're Westside, and even Elkhorn South.
Finn Christensen runs into a big brick wall, and that's going to bring up 3rd and medium once again. Elkhorn South's doing a great job of forcing Westside into these 3rd downs.
Yeah, they are. They've been really dominant on that front line. Luke Dorius, Cooper Perrion, Tristan Brewer, they've all been really good. They've been stopping the run, inside runs, and have forced Westside to think outside the box, run it outside, toss the ball around a little bit.
Warren looks left, has an open receiver, and it's off the fingertips of Keenan Cotton. And that's going to bring up 4th and 5. Decision time for Coach Lamanji. And it looks like the field goal unit with Ever Shrislin will be coming onto the field.
This will be a pretty long field goal, too. It's 4th and 5. It could be 4-down territory for Westside, but Lamanji doesn't take it. But this will be about a 48, maybe 49-yarder for Shrislin. No gimme.
He has the leg. The kick is up. He's got more than enough leg straight down the gut. What a kick by Ever Shrislin. Westside strikes first. It's 3-0 Warriors.
What's Westside done so well is Coach Moravec in his special teams unit. Westside has had a good line of kickers. Most recently, Tristan Alvano. He's the kicker at Nebraska currently, and he's done a really good job. He has a boot that can maybe hit 60 yards. And then Will Bowerly, last year, he was also really solid. Kicked more extra points than he should have, but right now Westside's got a good kicking game, and it helps them there making that 49-yard field goal, get out to an early 3-0 lead.
It's one of the first field goals this year by Ever Shrislin. He doesn't kick much of them, but he gets Westside on the board, and we all know how important the first score of the game is, but you got to give Elkhorn South credit. If it wasn't for that punt that pinned them inside their own 3-yard line down at the 1, which resulted in Westside getting good field position, they're sitting pretty good. Their defense is holding pretty strong.
Yeah, their defense has been pretty good. Their defense has been great so far. I've been talking about it even with the 6 minutes left in the first. Their front seven's going to be dominant, and they've been doing it right now, clogging up the gaps. They've been forcing Tate Jenkins especially to run to the outside, and they've been forcing Warren to pass in uncomfortable situations, which has helped them. Warren has not looked great on the passing game so far today, but it'll be the first kickoff for Westside of the game.
Ever Shrislin from his own 40 boots it away. It's going to be caught at the 3-yard line and returned. He's got open field, but he quickly meets Westside defenders at about the 27, 26-yard line. On the return was Shanahan. We've already heard his name a whole lot tonight, but that's exactly what Elkhorn South does. They give the ball to Gavin Shanahan. That's their playmaker.
Yeah, Gavin Shanahan, 770 yards coming into this game, 400-plus yard games and 12 touchdowns. Honestly, he's going to be running the ball a lot. I wouldn't be surprised, though, if Coach Rosenberg gave the ball to Madden Riggs. He has probably the biggest chip on his shoulder from last year, getting sent to the hospital in that abysmal state championship game.
There he is in the shotgun, looks right, has an open receiver, and it's through the hands of Landon Tate on the far side of the field.
Landon Tate's going to probably be that primary guy for the Elkhorn receiving game. He doesn't have many yards on. He has 324 receiving yards, which is more than I thought. 4 touchdowns on the season for him, too. But if they're going to pass, it's probably going to be to Landon Tate.
Leading receiver on this team with both catches and yards, 17 through 324 on the season. 2nd and 10, Madden Riggs in the shotgun. Deep drop back, Quentin Warren on the pressure. They find the screen route. That's Kalen Borngabri, and he breaks free. It's going to be a gain of 6 on 2nd down. That'll bring up 3rd and 5, 3rd and 4 with 6:30 left to play here in the first quarter.
Quentin Warren nearly got back there and made a good sack, got good pressure, but it's a little screen pass to Borngabri, and he's going to also be a pretty good guy in this receiving game. And the running game too, actually. But Elkhorn South going to try to distribute the ball as much as they can, keep Westside on their toes.
Riggs in the shotgun, rolls right, looking downfield, has a wide open receiver, Landon Tate. The reception is made at the 30-yard line. Trailing in coverage for Westside was Joe Simon.
He just found that open seam in the gap in the middle of the field, and a big play for Elkhorn South. That's what the doctor ordered, and that's what they needed. A huge gain of probably over nearly 50 yards, as Westside only rushed maybe 3 on that play, and Elkhorn South's O-line has done a great job at limiting pressure on Madden Riggs.
Riggs hands it off. Borngrebe on the carry, and he's going to go nowhere, being tackled in the loss of 1. With Joe Simon and Charlie DiLorenzo. Simon was the one in coverage there, but he just got straight up burnt on that post route.
Yeah, they've shown it a couple of times against Central, they gave up a 97-yard touchdown pass, and they haven't given up many, but they've given up a few chunk yardage passes, and that could be trouble for Westside.
Riggs fakes the handoff, drops back all the way back to the 40-yard line, looking across the field, Landon Tate, and the ball is nearly picked by Bryson Williams.
Bryson Williams right there. It was a little bit of a high rainbow throw right there from Riggs, and it just kept floating and floating and floating. And Williams was there to knock it down. Nearly had the one-handed interception. But this is what Westside wants to do. They want them to force those third and really longs.
But, I mean, if it wasn't for that underthrow by Madden Riggs, Landon Tate was wide open once again behind Bryson Williams there.
Yeah, they've been able to get out to the secondary really well. Westside likes to play a bit of man defense as we have a timeout here.
The timeout is going to be called by Elkhorn South with 4:53 left in the first quarter, and that's also going to lead us to our first break here on the WTV Live Network. Welcome back here on the WTV Live Network. 3rd and 11 for Elkhorn South. Riggs will hand the ball off, and going nowhere, tackled in the backfield, Borngrebe, and that's going to bring up 3rd and long.
Now that'll bring up 4th and long, and I don't know what. It looks like Elkhorn's going to maybe go for it here.
The ball is spotted right now at the 34-yard line, so it would be nearly a 45-yard field goal.
It'd be more of a 50-yarder.
Yeah.
And it looks like they will punt. And Bryson Williams is back there to receive it. It'll be Caperno on the punt. They're going to take a delay of game penalty.
They're going to take a delay of game to get a little bit more room for their punter.
Yeah, it's probably a smart idea by Coach Rosenberg. Give him a little bit more space to punt it, and we saw on the last couple of drives, Owen Wright pinned them back at their own 1, and that forced a short field for Westside on the ensuing punt by Elkhorn South, and it gave them a good shot opportunity for a field goal, and they took it. So this could be a big moment here for Elkhorn South on the underlying highlight reel.
The punt is away, nearly getting to it is the defender, and the ball's going to bounce at the 10, take a Elkhorn South bounce inside the 5 before it's downed at the 4. Really good punt, really bad starting field position for Westside on this drive.
Yeah, Westside's probably going to be judged on this drive. They're pinned back at their own 4, like what Elkhorn South did. They're pinned back right at the shadow of their own end zone. And it'll be an interesting decision here for Lamanji, see what he does, if they're going to give it to Tate Jenkins and let him run rampant, or if they're going to let Braylon Warren throw it.
Braylon Warren standing on his own goal line about a yard into the end zone. Tate Jenkins on his right, who gets the carry, and he's going to be brought down at the 2, a gain of nothing on first down.
Elkhorn South been real dominant, a loss of 1 there on those inside runs, mainly with Finn Christensen. They have not allowed him to get many yards. And right there, Tate Jenkins stuffed up the gut and forces Westside back another yard, which is pretty important. They're down at their own 3.
Once again, Braylon Warren in his own end zone. Tate Jenkins on his left. Screen pass out to Mo Purify. In space down the right sideline. He's got one man to beat. He's tripped up and knocked out of bounds at about the 33-yard line. A good way to get out of your own end zone, Hunter.
Yes, sir, it is, Zach. They have not really thrown to Mo Purify that often, but right there, he caught it at about his own 2-yard line and took it all the way up to past the 30. A great way to get out of the end zone and give Westside another set of downs.
Wide receiver 3 on that Westside team is Mo Purify. The handoff to Tay Jenkins, and he fights his way up to the 40, and that'll bring up 2nd and 3.
With his short stature, Tay Jenkins can break a lot of tackles, and we've seen that throughout the season, especially on those kick returns. He has 2, tied with Keenan Cotton on the team, and he last week he got a game of the week ball, and he ran for over 150 yards last week. And Lamonji's looking for him to do it tonight too.
Braylon Warren 5 yards back, hands the ball off to Tay Jenkins, and he runs into a big wall, but he still falls forward, picks up the first down, a gain of 5. I mean, that's what Tay does. He hit a brick wall 3 yards past the line of scrimmage, and somehow he fell forward for another 2 or 3.
Yeah, the Creighton prep transfer is doing his dues today. Like you just said, he ran into an absolute brick wall, but did manage to fall forward, got that extra couple of yards, and then got him the first down, maybe a gain of 5.
Warren takes a snap, fakes the handoff to Finn Christensen, finds Keenan Cotton, breaking 1 tackle, getting up to the 46-yard line, near the first down marker. That's 2nd and 2.
Lamonji likes to give Keenan Cotton those little screen routes, get him into the open field, and called it there. A little RPO action, got it to Cotton, but a great job by the Elkhorn South defenders to wrap him up, hit him early, and knock him down before he could get out into any open field for only a gain of 9, which could have been more.
2nd and 1 for the Warriors. Braylon Warren drops back, looks up the middle, now rolls out to his right. He's going to take it for himself, picks up the first down, picks up a good block, a gain of 6. I mean, you got to look at that block by Finn Christensen.
Yeah, knocked down to the defender, gave Warren a bit more space to on the first play of the drive, and now is driving all the way to the Elkhorn South 38. You gotta give a lot of love on this drive by Lamonji.
Warren, high pass for Keenan Cotton. He's going to be sharply hit in the ribs by the defensive back, Borngrebe.
Yeah, this Elkhorn South student section wants blood, and that was a great hit there by Borngrebe. Cotton was he leaped up into the air. He just didn't have time to get down. He got hit hard, couldn't come down with the ball.
Tay Jenkins on the carry up the middle, has a big hole, still on his feet, fighting inside the 30, near the first down marker once again.
Yeah, right now this offense is kind of running through Tay Jenkins, giving Braylon Warren a little bit of time to just hand the ball off, read his options. Lamonji's waiting a little bit, and then he'll probably let Warren throw it deep, maybe about second half.
Another handoff, Tay Jenkins. This one won't go quite as far, but he still picks the first down, and the chains continue to roll. 7 carries.
Yeah, it's big for Westside. They're passing the moment.
Tay takes the jet sweep, and he's going to pick up 2 yards. I mean, what can he do? That one he lined up out wide, came in the backfield, and took the quick pass from Braylon Warren. And that might be our last play of the first quarter as the clock ticks under 10 seconds and Westside's going to march off the field. Hunter, what did you see in that first quarter that you liked so much?
Both defenses played spectacularly. Mainly Westside's. They've halted them. They've gotten 3 punts on two punts or 3 punts on all drives for Elkhorn South. The Elkhorn South is holding firm. They're giving up a lot of chunk plays on this drive right now to end the first quarter. Mainly that Mo Purify catch that went for about 30 yards that got him out of the back of the end zone. But both defenses are playing spectacularly so far.
I would have to agree. We're going to take a quick break here on the WTV Live Network. We'll have the start of the second quarter when we come back. Welcome back here on the WTV Live Network. I'm Zach Kastrick, Hunter Velopek alongside me. Westside continuing to fight late in that first quarter, and it'll set them up at the 25-yard line, threatening to score to start the second quarter. Screen pass out to Eli Johnson, makes a man miss with a juke move. Ball is loose, and it is picked up by Elkhorn South. A turnover by Westside. Elkhorn South finds a way to get the ball back.
Yeah, it's a beautiful job right there. Knocked out the football, got it loose, and easy recovery for Elkhorn South, and a huge stop to begin the second quarter.
Westside does not turn the ball over very often. That is a very uncharacteristic mistake by Eli Johnson.
But right now, this will give Elkhorn South a chance to drive here. A beautiful stop, and a chance for Elkhorn South to use this momentum to respond.
That's how you beat Westside. Everyone knows you have to win in the turnover margin if you want a chance to win a football game. Right now, it's in the favor of Elkhorn South, 1-0. Riggs takes the snap, hands it off to Shanahan. He's quickly met in the backfield. Making the stop there is going to be Joe Soria.
Yeah.
First one to meet him in the hole.
Just like you said, met him in the gap, knocked him back a couple of yards, and after that initial contact, if you can hold him there for 1 or 2 seconds, the rest of your team will get behind you and knock him down.
Elkhorn South, a team that likes to drain clock. They did a good job there. This time they're going to run the play clock under 15 seconds almost every time before they snap the ball. Riggs in the shotgun. Going to take the snap, creeping up. Christian Jones trying to get pressure. Looking over the middle, and it's picked. Quentin Warren. He's down to the 10, to the sideline, and he's in the end zone. Quentin Warren with his second pick six of the year. Had one last week, and he has one this week.
I believe that is his third pick six of the season, and Westside, you mentioned it earlier on that last drive, win the turnover margin, and right there is not what you need for Elkhorn South. Right over the middle, it was great pocket protection by Elkhorn South, especially on Christian Jones, but it was just a bad throw over the middle, picked off and returned for a touchdown. That's back-to-back weeks where Quentin Warren has a pick six and his third of the season with a fourth interception.
Fourth INT on the year. PAT is good by Ever Shrislin. Westside leads 10-0. Quentin Warren, we don't like to give him a position label. He likes to be known as an athlete. There he kind of plays more linebacker on defense, but he does everything. There's his second or third pick six of the year, his fourth interception on the air, and it gives Westside a big swing of momentum after just giving the ball back up.
Yeah, it just gave him a great momentum boost. Elkhorn South right now is spit stunned, and now it'll be time to see how they respond. Westside responded well to the turnover, kept their head down, played their style of football. And you mentioned it earlier, Elkhorn South likes to drain the clock. They need to keep their tempo on if they want to win the game. Westside plays a nice, fast style of football. Elkhorn South likes to slow it down, run it with Shanahan, and beat you up on the run game. Try to wear you down as the game goes on.
I mean, if you're Madden Riggs, you throw that pick six, you give your team up 7 points, make it a 2-possession game. But you got to come right back on the field. You don't get 5 minutes to go dwell on the sideline and reset your mindset. You're right back up to it. You give up the PAT and the kickoff, and you're right back out on the field.
No, you got to just scrap that last drive, get a new ideology, and focus on this next drive.
Shrislin boots it away. Straight to Shanahan. He returns it from the 3 up the right sideline. He's going to stay on the right sideline. He's going to make it up to the 25 before he's tackled down by Bryson Williams.
This Westside defense has been real dominant all year. The most they've given up was Sabelle West. They gave up 21 against them. Otherwise, they've held their opponents to 14 or less points. And they have done a great job at getting the turnover margin in their favor. Quentin Warren, 4 interceptions. Christian Jones has an interception. Bryson Williams has a couple. And right now, Westside's playing their game, and they need to keep doing it right now. Just get a bit more pressure. That's been a bit lacking for the Warriors, and then force them into bad throws.
Elkhorn South has not given up more than 14 points all season on defense. I mean, they've only given up 3 technically because the touchdown came on the pick six. And the handoff there to Shanahan goes nowhere, a gain to nothing.
Yeah, Sorio again was the first one back there. Knocked him down, and and gave them a loss of 1, and a great job by Westside just to knock them back on the first drive of the first play of the possession.
The stat sheets say he only has 1 tackle for loss on the season, but he's already got 2 here today. Riggs in the shotgun. Another handoff for Shanahan. This one's going to be bounced outside the tackles, and he nearly breaks free, and making a big stop is Reed McIntyre coming up from the safety position.
What's Westside done so well today is they have not given Shanahan any room to run, but right there, broke a tackle, gave him about 5 yards of separation between the next defender, and managed to gain a few, get him at a third and manageable.
3rd and 6 for Madden Riggs and Gavin Shanahan in the backfield. 2 receivers left side, 1 to the right side. Drops back, rolls out to his right. Can't find anybody, looking downfield, and it's over the head of his intended receiver, looking for his tight end, Devin Meir.
Once more, it's the Westside front 7 who got back there, forced him to roll. And then the secondary, he had Meyer right there, open it at about the Westside 45, just a bit of an overthrow. And another Elkhorn South punt.
Westside has forced a lot of punts on the season. They don't give up many points. Max they've given up was to Bell West, which was 21 points. Back to return this punt is Keenan Cotton, standing on his own 40-yard line. Punt is away, good coverage. This one's going to be a good punt. Pushes Keenan Cotton back. It's going to bounce at the 40-yard line, takes a really big bounce, and it's going to be down at the Westside 34-yard line, and that is where Braylon Warren and the Westside offense will start this drive.
This is once more, every drive's big in this game, but this one's going to be also a really big one. You're up 2 possessions. You still have a bit less than 10 minutes left to go in the half. You can get out to a 17-0 lead here and put Elkhorn South on some pressure.
I mean, as we said, they've only given up 14 points at the most in a game so far this season. There was 2 times versus Bell West in Grand Island in the beginning of the season. Warren takes the snap, 3 receivers to his left. He's looking that direction. Still can't find anybody. He nearly tucks it himself, but he's going to hit his check down in Jenkins. He breaks it free down the right sideline. 50, 40. He's going to go all the way. Tay Jenkins, touchdown. Westside is up 16-0.
And that's what you need. A huge pass for Braylon Warren. Nobody there, had to roll out, and Tay Jenkins was about 2 yards into the flat. Took it all the way himself for a touchdown. 16-0 Westside, and a huge momentum booster for the Warriors. Elkhorn South, a little discombobulated right now.
Ever Shrislin out for the PAT. It's been perfect so far today, and he remains perfect. Knocks that one through. 17-0 Warriors. Hunter, I was talking with so much friends and family about this Westside football team this week, and the thing that I kept saying is Braylon Warren doesn't have to be special. All he has to do is manage his game, and that's what he does so well. He finds his check down there, and it goes to the house. He doesn't throw the ball super deep, super often, but his receivers are just so good at making plays.
He does not make many deep throws. He goes through his progressions like a good pocket passer. He can roll out, he can scramble, he can do those dual threat abilities, but he has a good knack of not turning the ball over. And right there, lots of coverage, found the open receiver in Tay Jenkins, and he took it to the house. Him and Keenan Cotton are really good when out in open space. As you saw there, he beat 2 or 3 defenders. I will let you know Tay Jenkins is only a sophomore. So we're going to have him for the next couple of years here at Westside.
Man, I'm kind of sad I'm graduating. It's going to be crazy what player he turns into. And these Westside fans, there's a lot of them here tonight. Standing room only here on the home side of the field. 5+ sections of bleachers they've packed out. I mean, there's rows of people standing behind us here. Shrislin boots it away, and it's going to go into the end zone. A touchback for Ever Shrislin, his 4th of the year.
Once more, Elkhorn South, like you said earlier, Madden Riggs did not get any time to get any time after that pick 6, and he is still a little bit down after going 3 and out, and then giving up that long touchdown to Tay Jenkins. Right now, I believe Shanahan only has 9 yards on the ground. Westside has done a great job at forcing Madden Riggs to pass it, and right now it's going really well for Westside, forcing many 3 and outs. Haven't allowed a point yet with 9:22 and forcing punts.
Riggs in the shotgun. He's going to draw back, look to his right side, finds Landon Tate, passes complete. He breaks 1 tackle, and Christian Jones drags him right near the line to gain.
Yeah, Riggs is just gonna go through the same progressions as Warren. They're not gonna throw. He's thrown 1 deep ball. He's got Tate down in the middle of the field when it was 3-0. But otherwise, he's been throwing it short. He's been throwing it sweet, except for that 1 interception. Otherwise, he's been doing great on the passing game.
This one's going to be pitched to Shanahan. This time he has open field. Gets past Reed McIntyre down the left sideline. Had a lot of green grass before Charlie DiLorenzo comes up and pushes him out of bounds.
That's what happens when you give Shanahan some open space. He makes you pay. Only 9 yards before that, and he put that one only out of bounds at about the Elkhorn South 46, so not as much as we thought, but good start for Elkhorn South.
2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left for Riggs. Shanahan on his right hip. Drops back, looks right, comes back to the middle of the field. Going to hit his check down, and an air throw with pressure in his face. Creating that pressure was Graham Hoffert in the backfield. Hudson Meade, sorry there. Numbers like to blend in a little bit. I mean, they're kind of just finding anybody they can to play that D-line right now. You got Joe Soria and Darryl Taylor. But, I mean, without Cam Bell this week, it's a battle to find players who can find up there up front.
Yeah, they have, but they've been doing a good job at it.
A botched snap is in the dirt. Nearly completed the pass to Landon Tate. A hard hit on the quarterback. That one was delivered by
I believe it was Luke Sterling on the pressure there.
Luke Sterling not getting into the game a whole lot this year. He's more of a nickel kind of DB, but I mean, everyone out there right now, we know Westside's been thin on the linebacking core for quite some time after losing their starting linebacker Ty Sidzik in the second game of the year. A pitch to Shanahan, green grass in front of him. Bryson Williams make a diving stop to bring up 4th and long.
In the game of football, open field tackles are a necessity, and it's a great job there by Bryce Williams, stopping Shanahan from getting to the outside and breaking free and forcing another punt for Elkhorn South. They're looking a little bit flat coming out of the gates here as they are facing number 1 team in the state.
Back to return this punt once again. Keenan Cotton. He's not going to go up and catch it. It's going to bounce at the 30, and it's going to sit right there, and it's going to be down at the 29. And here comes Braylon Warren with 8:07 left here in the first half.
Last drive was only one play, a 76-yard touchdown reception to Tay Jenkins, giving Westside that big. They're out early. We saw this during the Bellevue West game. We expected the Bellevue West game to be a lot closer, but Westside, they've been doing a good job this season at getting out to big leads early and putting their opponents in a down state going into halftime, which has created great opportunities for Westside to go 6-0 this season and maybe go undefeated in the season going into the state playoff game.
Warren takes the snap, nearly hands off to Finn Christensen. He goes out to Eli Johnson, makes one man miss, and picks up about 7 on first down. That's his first catch since he made that fumble deep in Elkhorn South territory.
Yeah, he's going to be a little bit more protective of that football, maybe sacrificing a couple of yards just to secure the ball. And Elkhorn South did a good job on that drive to force a turnover, and they can come back here. They need to force more.
Finn Christensen on the carry up past the 40, picks up the first down and plus a few more yards. you got to think, Lamanji's thinking big picture here, 7:30 left to play in the second quarter. Maybe take some clock off, put up some points, but you don't want to give Elkhorn South too much time. They have 2 timeouts left. Warren pulls it back, completes it to Eli Johnson once again, puts a stiff arm on the defender, and he picks up the first down. Chains continue to move.
I said on that first drive, chunk plays are going to be the key to success, and Westside's done a pretty good job at getting those chunk plays of 10, 11, maybe even 20 yards. That gets them a new set of downs usually and gives them great success.
Like I said, Braylon Warren, they love the check downs, just get him in the flow of motion, and the play is going to be blown dead. A flag is on the field. False start on the Warriors. I think that's the first penalty we've had here today, and we're already halfway through the second quarter.
Yeah, from the games we broadcasted here, there were a lot of penalties that were being called on both Westside and their opponents. As both Westside and Elkhorn South have been playing a really clean game today. Only that was just the first penalty of the game. You are right, Zach.
That'll bring up 1st and 15 for the Warriors. Handoff Finn Christensen, gets outside the tackles, open space, puts his shoulder down and gets up to the 40. Bring up 2nd and 3.
Now right there, that Westside O-line got to the second. They've given up some pressure on the passing game, but they've been really dominant on the run game. Got to the second level to block the linebackers and gave Finn Christensen an opportunity to get to the outside and get 12 yards on that gain, make it a second and manageable.
Warren takes a snap, another handoff Finn Christensen, but he's going to be met in the backfield by a couple of Elkhorn South defenders. Luke Dorius was the first one to meet Finn Christensen in the backfield. That'll bring up 3rd and 5.
Now right here is a pass or run situation if you're Lamanji. Keep Elkhorn South.
Warren rolls out to his right, gonna throw across his body, has the pass complete to Eli Johnson, bobbled it for a minute, completes the catch up to the 33.
Right there, a little play action pass. Got it to Eli Johnson quickly. A little bit of a bobble. Could have been some trouble, but managed to haul it in, give Westside a new set of downs.
This drive has been all Eli Johnson in the passing game for the Warriors. Warren takes a snap, fakes the handoff, Tay Jenkins going down left sideline, Eli Johnson, and it's off the fingertips. That's one you could argue he could catch.
Yeah, that one was a pretty solid throw, maybe a tad over by Warren, and Johnson just past his outstretched fingertips, tipped it, and was knocked almost a touchdown. It would have been a touchdown easily. He had it in the end zone, and a big lost opportunity for Westside.
You don't see Braylon Warren throw it deep all so often, but when he does, I mean, I'm telling you, he can throw the ball far. He's got one arm on him. Takes a snap, handoff Jenkins, breaks the first 2 tackles, still on his feet, fighting, gets up past the line of scrimmage up to the 30. He was met by 2 Elkhorn South defenders in the backfield, but he fought there, picked up 2 yards.
Yeah, he got met about 2-3 yards in the backfield, got the initial hit, broke that tackle, broke a second tackle, and managed to get about 2 yards on the gain, which he made a little bit of something out of nothing.
5 yards back is Braylon Warren. He takes a snap, rolls out to his right, looking downfield, and he's just going to take it himself out of bounds at about the 28-yard line, and that's going to bring up 4th and 7 for the Westside Warriors, and here comes Ever Shrislin for the field goal attempt.
He made one from 48 earlier. This one from about 45 yards away. He's shown that he has a lot of leg, and the wind is with him. It's at his back maybe about 5 miles per hour.
This one's going to be kicked from the 36-yard line. A 46-yard attempt for Ever Shrislin. Kick is up. This one getting there, and it's not going to have the distance. Leaves it short and a little bit right. Ever Shrislin's kick is no good, and Elkhorn South will take over, trailing by 17. 4:15 left to play here in the first half.
Great stop by Elkhorn South there. Field goal was missed, a tad to the right, but for Elkhorn South there, got a great needed as little point, gave up no points on that drive, and a little bit of momentum to them as the ball's going to be placed at the 20 for Elkhorn South. I do not know what happened there.
Weird high school rule is that, I assume. I mean, missed field goal attempt, went through the back of the end zone. That's where the touchbacks come out to, is the 20, so they must rule that as a touchback, which I find awfully weird.
I agree.
Ball was kicked from the 36. The ball was at the 30-yard line when they took that kick. Riggs rolls out to his right, looking downfield, has the receiver. Reed McIntyre in on the coverage. Pass intended for Devin Meyer. Elkhorn South wanted the flag, and they will not get one.
Meyer right there broke the coverage. It's the tight end. He's pretty fast for a tight end, but he broke out. Nobody to him. A little bit of an underthrow as Riggs was on the run and just put it a little short. Near almost a pass interference call, but no call. Second down.
Meyer on the year only has 8 catches, but he has 245 yards, averaging over 30 yards per reception this season for the Storm's tight end.
Color man pressed.
Riggs, deep drop back, looking right, over the middle. Pass is complete, but a big hit is laid out by the Warriors. Christian Jones, the Husker commit, in on the stop.
It is scary when you are one-on-one with little Oklahoma drill with Christian Jones as he popped him right there behind the line of scrimmage. Now with 3rd and 11, and you might want to run the clock down a bit more if you're Elkhorn South coach Rosenberg. Give Westside as little time as possible to go back, drive down the field, and score before halftime. Make this a 3+ possession game.
Coach Lamanji still has 3 timeouts, and that timeout's going to be called by Elkhorn South, their second timeout of the half, and that's also going to be a timeout for us on the WTV Live Network. You're listening to Westside Football on the WTV Live Network. Welcome back here on the WTV Live Network. Elkhorn South, 3rd and 11. Fakes the handoff. Riggs rolls out to his left, sets his feet, goes deep. Landon Tate, and the ball's intercepted by Joe Simon at the 47-yard line. That is his first interception on the season.
Another deep pass there by Riggs. Another ball that was underthrown, not able to. He was looking for Landon Tate. A great job by Joe Simon to drop back in coverage. Did a little leap, got the interception, and now Westside has prime field position at their own 48 to start this drive. As Elkhorn South has only put up 75 yards of offense in this half.
Some people would call that a short punt, Hunter, on that pick. I mean, it was 30, 40 yards downfield, but nonetheless, great starting field position for Braylon Warren on the Westside Warriors. Snap is taken, handoff to Tate Jenkins. Makes the first man miss, as he always does. Gets across midfield to the 49.
Tate Jenkins has 51 yards on the ground and 78 through the air. He has over 130 yards of offense by himself. He is the big cog in this Westside rushing game, and he has helped out.
Warren takes a snap, deep drop back, pressure coming, finds Tate Jenkins over the middle. He's going to go down the right sideline. He breaks it free. Down to the 10. Gets to the pylon. Touchdown, Tate Jenkins. His second receiving of the game.
Another touchdown by Tate Jenkins. His second of the day and his second receiving touchdown. That will tag him for over 100 yards on the seat. This this is the first game where he's recorded a receiving touchdown, and he's received 2 of them. He only had 4 receptions coming into the game today for 73 yards. He just about tied it on that first reception of 71 yards, and then he scored that touchdown. That puts him over 100 receiving and 50 rushing.
PAT is good by Ever Shrislin. Westside is up 24-0. 2:44 left to play in the first half.
And just Westside getting out early. They 24-0 in a game where we thought it would be pretty close coming into the half. A great first quarter defensive effort by Elkhorn South, but they've just been getting a little bit beat up on those runs by Tay Jenkins, and the O-line, especially on those screen passes, have been really solid.
I mean, look at these Westside fans. I mean, they packed out this stadium for this top 3 matchup, absolutely filling up the stadium, standing room only on both sides of the field. Elkhorn South students came to travel well from Elkhorn. It's absolutely full on the other side. I mean, we've got to be expecting, I want to say, maybe 3,000-ish people here in Phelps Field tonight.
Yeah, this is one of the most packed games I've ever seen here on both sides of football. This is the game of the year in Nebraska right now, this season, until probably Millard South and maybe even Westside or Elkhorn South will play them. But Tay Jenkins, 127 receiving yards, almost doubling his total on the season.
Kick is away from Shrislin, gets into the right side, bounces at the 2 and into the end zone. Touchback. They'll bring the ball out to the 20-yard line for Madden Riggs and the Elkhorn South Storm.
Elkhorn South's offense has been lacking today. 75 yards of offense. We saw this with Bell West. They scored just before the half. But Elkhorn South's offense has been usually really solid. Over 34 points a game. Their lowest they've scored was 34 against Bell West.
Madden Riggs in the shotgun. He's going to hand it off. That one's for Shanahan. And he's going to be dragged down. Ball is loose. Bryson Williams comes up with it. And he's in the end zone. The second defensive touchdown of the game for the Warriors. It's 30-0.
Westside right there. Another turnover. You've said it before. The turnover margin is going to be a key to this game. And Westside has dominated it. The 3rd or 4th turnover of the game for the Elkhorn South Storm. The ball got popped initially maybe, and Westside was antsy, and then officially got popped out. Bryson Williams caught it off the fly and just absolutely took it to the house for a touchdown. And now it's, count it, 30-0 for the number 1 team in the state of Nebraska in Class A.
Shanahan took the handoff, and it just bounced out of his hands. I assume someone in the big scrum of defenders punched that one free, and it was in the air, and Bryson Williams just was under it and took it to the house.
Yeah, maybe a little uppercut there to punch the ball free. It was a scrum right there, and Shanahan just couldn't hold on. The ball popped free. Bryce Williams caught it on the fly and took it to the house. 31-0. Zach, I didn't expect this level of dominance for Westside, but they keep showing out. They have played a tough schedule all season. They've played really good teams. They played an Omaha North team that's in the top 10. Millard West, who played a tough season, but could also be in the top 10. Bell West, top 10. Central, top 10. And they'll play Prep in Papio La Vista after this. They've just been really dominant all of the games, as they are absolutely dominating the Storm right now.
I mean, I had a lot of friends and family come and ask me this week, what are you expecting with this game? I said, it's either going to be a close game, whether that's 1 or 2 scores, or Westside's just going to choke them out and absolutely destroy them. And, I mean, right now I'd like to say they're kind of destroying them in tonight's matchup. Kick is away. This one's going to be a short kick up to the 15. Shanahan on the return, cuts back towards the inside, gets up near the 35. Decent starting field position with 2:31 left to play. 1 timeout for Elkhorn South.
Yeah, Elkhorn South is going to try to get points on the board just before this half ends. Westside, I believe they're playing with a chip on their shoulder also. Elkhorn South, their fans and their players were a bit thinking highly of themselves coming into this game. They wanted revenge, and right now Westside early is kicking them in the teeth. as Elkhorn South was planting their flag on Westside's logo before the game.
Riggs takes the snap, pitches it to Shanahan. He just fumbled it. That time he keeps the ball in his hands and is up to the 38-yard line.
Johnny Hurtado is back from injury. We believe he had a concussion last week, which took him out of the game against Fremont, but made a nice tackle right there. Plays both sides of the ball. Plays a bit of linebacker and on D-line on defense, and then as the center on offense has the key to that machine.
Riggs takes a snap, another pitch to Shanahan, this one out to the left, and quickly met, and a good tackle from Reed McIntyre. He's quietly having one of the best seasons on this Westside defense.
Yeah, McIntyre has over 30 tackles, including this game. Probably more than a couple of tackles for loss. Not yet an interception, but he has been really dominant on all facets of the ball on the defensive side.
We're going to have a timeout on the field. Ball is currently set at the 38-yard line. 3rd and 5 right now for Elkhorn South. We talked about the turnover margin, Hunter. Westside currently leads that one 2-1. But the thing you got to note with that, they're both returned for touchdowns on both of those turnovers.
Yeah, Westside, I believe Westside's winning 3-1 on this one. Quinn Warren got a pick six. Bryce Williams got the scoop and scored. Joe Simon had an interception earlier. And Westside right now is winning the turnover margin pretty heavily, which is allowing them to get out to this 31-0 lead with about 2 minutes left in the second half. And Lamanji might call some timeouts, give them. I think Lamanji might be a bit more ruthless this game and run up the score over what Elkhorn South did before the game.
We'll get to that in a minute, what they did before the game. Riggs on 3rd and 6. Gets out to Landon Tate. Quickly getting out there is the Westside defense. And 6 or 7, and now all 11 or 10 Westside defenders in on the stop. Back to what they did before the game, Hunter. They came out and planted an Elkhorn South flag at the midfield Westside logo.
Yeah, that is a cardinal sin if you want. You can do it after the game if you win by a good amount. We have a timeout here at Westside, called their second one. They're looking to score to end this half, but it's a cardinal sin to do it before a game. There have been many instances where, including this one, where teams who do that get kicked in the teeth immediately afterwards. And right now, Elkhorn South is getting kicked in the teeth. 31-0. Westside has come out hot. Their offense has been great. Two touchdowns on the defensive end. An all-around great effort.
Last time these teams faced was in that championship game last year where Westside won 56-0 in the state final. And this isn't the first time these teams have met in the state final, Hunter. Back in 2020 in the COVID year, they played here for the state final, and Westside won that game as well.
Yeah, last two meetups were both in the state championship game, both won by Westside. As they lead the series 4-0, as Elkhorn South is a new Class A team. 2018 when they got promoted.
Kick is away, a short punt, and this one's going to take a Elkhorn South bounce to about the 38. Good starting field position. Over a minute 30 with one timeout, Braylon Warren has. We'll see what Westside does here, up by 31.
They probably will just stick with the fundamentals. They've been passing it short, a couple of screens. They've been doing a few wide receiver screens. They've been handing the ball off to Tate Jenkins a good amount. They've only thrown one pass, I believe, over 20 yards. And it was almost a completion to Eli Johnson just off his fingertips. But Lamanji's just going to probably keep Warren in check, have him run the ball. Only one timeout with a minute 39 left to go here, so maybe not run it as much as they have.
At the 43 of the Westside Warriors, Braylon Warren stands still in the pocket, and he's going to be dragged down. It's going to be a sack for Elkhorn South. In there on the stop, Meyer.
Meyer's been doing it on both sides of the football. Nearly has a couple of catches for big gains, but he has 4 sacks on the season for Elkhorn South. 5.
That's his 5th right there. Deep drop back over the middle. Not Tate Jenkins, sorry. That's Keenan Cotton over the middle. Gets back to where they started the play at the line of scrimmage. That's going to bring up 3rd and 18. When you're trying to do a 2-minute drill, going backwards is not what you're supposed to do, obviously. They say yardage, chunk play, don't take the sacks, don't go backwards, and now Westside's taking their time. I imagine they're going to just try and drain out this clock. after going backwards on that first play.
Yeah, it's going to be it was a great half for Westside, and Lamonji's going to have some nitpicks, but he's going to have a lot of good things to say at halftime for the Warriors.
Play clock is under 5, ticks to 4. Ball is handed off to Tay Jenkins, and he doesn't have a whole lot of space. Still fighting, though. He never goes down. He's still on his feet. To the 40, to the 30, 20, 10, 5. Touchdown, Tay Jenkins.
What can this man not do? He ran up the gut, stopped about 2 yards in, kept pushing, and O-lineman gave him a little bit of a boost, and he was gone after that. A huge touchdown for Tay Jenkins. He's counted third of the game. He's got a hat trick, 2 on the receiving end and 1 on the rushing end, and a huge touchdown for the Warriors, 37-0. Just unbelievable job by Tay Jenkins right there.
I for sure thought he was going to be stopped down. I thought maybe forward progress may have nearly been stopped, but he just doesn't go down, Hunter. He's so good at staying on his feet. Despite his frame, he's not a very big running back, quite small actually, standing at 5'8", 175.
No, he is a very short running back, but he is shifty, and he can slip through any hole that he can get. In this, it starts with the O-line. It gives them lots of space to rumble. See, that was the biggest play, 120 rushing yards. He averages 11 yards a carry. And in total, he has had 247 yards from scrimmage, 127 on the passing game, and 120 on the rushing game. And that has led Westside to a 38-0 lead. Just an unbelievable job by Tay Jenkins, this offensive line, and the Westside Warriors, as Elkhorn South is stunned beyond belief.
I would just like to throw it out there, the Westside defense, as well as the offense is doing, Westside doesn't have a shutout yet this year, Hunter. They have given up 3 points, whether that was to Columbus, 7 to Omaha North, and 6 to Fremont last week, but they've still yet to find that donut on the board, which we know Westside did a ton last year. One of the most amount of, the ball is fumbled at the 10-yard line. Picking it up is Shanahan, and he nearly breaks free, but he's going to be dragged down at the 19. 11 seconds left to play in the half. I imagine we're going to get one play, and to the locker room we go.
Yeah, Elkhorn South had the ball down by 24 with 2 minutes left to go. They were only down 24. They fumbled it, gave up a scoop and score. Forced a punt, and Tay Jenkins, we thought they were going to go into the locker room, no more points. Tay Jenkins defied those odds.
Hand off to Shanahan. Good chunk yardage on first down, but the clock strikes under 5 seconds. And a timeout is called. The clock will stop so the chains can move. 5 seconds left in the half. First and 10, the clock will start moving. Up at the line is Riggs, and no snap will be taken. Westside takes a 38-0 lead into the locker room over the third-ranked Storm. What a half, Hunter. By no means did I expect Westside to put up 38 and allow 0 points here in the first half in this top 3 matchup.
I do not believe anybody in this stadium, mark my words, knew it would be this much of a blowout. 38-0 at half. Westside has laid down the hammer hard, especially Tay Jenkins, 247 yards from scrimmage, including 127 receiving yards. He had under 100 coming in. The Westside defense has been playing great. They have allowed 0 points, a shutout in the first half, and have stopped this Elkhorn South offense, who have scored over nearly 70 points nearly in their last 2 games each.
We're going to stop here for halftime. We might come back and read a little bit of stats, but we're going to give some recognition to the band who's going down to Orlando for the national competition here in a little bit.
seniors have put in over 20,000 hours.
Welcome back here on the WTV Live Network. I'm Zach Kastrick, Hunter Valapek alongside me. Westside 38-0 after the first half. Really dominant over really good Elkhorn South team, number 3 team in the state they are. We'll just go through a few stats here before we start the second half. Starting with Westside, Braylon Warren, the quarterback, 10 for 15, 197 yards and 2 touchdowns. Rushing for Westside, led by Tay Jenkins, obviously 11 carries, 121 yards. That's 11 yards per carry almost. 1 touchdown, and that came on a 65-yard run near the end of the half. Receiving for Westside, led by Tay Jenkins. He's a running back. 3 receptions, 127 yards. That's 42 yards per receptions to go along with his 2 reception touchdowns. And the big part, Hunter, the Westside defense, led by Quentin Warren, he has the pick 6. Bryson Williams returning a fumble for a touchdown. Joe Simon also had a interception in that half. On to Elkhorn South. There's not much to talk about with them. Madden Riggs, 5 for 13, 2 interceptions, only 53 yards. Rushing, Gavin Shanahan came into the night averaging 8 yards a carry, 770 yards on the ground, and 400-plus yard rushing games. But tonight, he's been held to 29 yards on 11 rushing attempts. Receiving for Elkhorn South, not much to go with there. It's Landon Tate leading the way with 48 yards on 3 receptions and a 38-yard catch to go with most of that. Defense, there's not much there, minus the 1 turnover they forced earlier in the game, which is a fumble by Eli Johnson. But Hunter, there's not much else to say about how good that half was by Westside. And that really, in my opinion, shows this team is better than everyone else thinks they are.
Yeah, people coming into the season said Westside's been a bit down. Millard South's going to run this state. And right now, Westside has been defying expectations. And with the expectations they are really high, they've been defining them. And 6-0, they're about to be 7-0. But we can't count out Elkhorn South just yet. We were talking before the game about a game in 2006 where Bellevue West was down 42-7 at the half, and they came back all the way to win in overtime. So there's a small, slight opportunity for Elkhorn South to maybe make it a game, but right now Westside's just been really dominant on all facets of the ball.
Shrislin will kick away for Westside. Kicks it away from his 40. And that one's going to bounce into the end zone, a touchback. And I do have to mention, as we do on every broadcast, when it gets over a 35-point lead in the second half, it is a running clock, which means it will be a running clock coming out of the half. Yeah,
it won't give too much time for Elkhorn South as they primarily run the ball. They like to drain the clock. And they're just going to be draining a lot of clock by themselves, maybe getting it down to probably less than 8 minutes if they can make a long drive here, maybe a touchdown drive.
If they do find a way to get it under 35, it will reverse back to a normal clock situation. Riggs takes the snap, hands it off to Shanahan, and once again, there's the Westside brick wall. Reed McIntyre was one of the few back in there in the backfield, all the way up from his safety spot.
Yeah, once more, that this Westside defense has been hitting the gaps great and stopping Shanahan from getting any rushing yards. Also, I would like to mention that there are a few Westside alums here tonight. Dom Rizak, who's playing at Vanderbilt, and a lot of guys who are from Westside that are at Nebraska right now.
Shanahan once again finds a little bit of space that time. A gain of 2, that'll bring up 3rd and 7. Third and 7 for the Storm. They trail by 38. 11 minutes left to play. Already a minute off the clock here in the third quarter. Big drive here for the Storm if they want to start things off with any sort of momentum. Riggs takes the snap, fakes the handoff to Shanahan. Pressure's coming, gets away. He's going to keep it himself, and a big hit on Madden Riggs. Reed McIntyre came up on the stop, and Madden Riggs, you got to stay safe. Last time he played Westside, He ended up in the hospital, unfortunately, in the state final game last year with a head injury, and that's going to bring in the punt unit for the Storm.
Yeah, this punt unit has been the main factor for Elkhorn South. They've had some good punts. They've had some bad punts, but Keenan Cotton hasn't been able to return a punt all game, and I think that's the main goal for this punt team. But just not what you want to see coming out of the half for Elkhorn South, trying to get some momentum here. Maybe put up some points.
Keenan Cotton standing on the 46-yard line for this return. This time he's going to get a chance, catches it at the 43 up the right sideline before he's pushed out of bounds across midfield.
I think this might just be a question now of how many points Westside would want to put up. There's been a bit of chippiness on this field today, and Lamanji might want to put up a big score. He might not. But this, if they can put up a good amount of points, this can show the voters who do the state rankings that Westside deserves to be number one.
The most they put up in the season was 63 this year against Fremont, just last week where they won 63-6 at home. Taking the snap, tosses out to Christian Jones, gets up past the line of scrimmage, knocked down at the 38-yard line. Tackle made by Geezer.
Christian Jones has not been a big part of this receiving game. He was last year for the Warriors, but not as much as this year. Coming into today, he only had 66 yards worth of offense on 7 receptions, which it's been a little bit underutilized, but can be a big threat.
Tate Jenkins gets his first carry of the half. This time a big tackle is made. Keeping him in the hands is the Elkhorn South defender.
What Elkhorn South did not do great in the first half was they gave up a lot of yards after contact on both passing-wise, a lot of screen passes by Warren, and then mainly Tate Jenkins, who has, on that last drive, took a big hit but scored.
Jenkins gets the ball that time, but he's met in the backfield and drilled backwards. In on the stop is Geezer, and that'll force a Westside punt, I would guess. Owen Wall marches out on the field. They may take a delay of game here, Hunter. We'll see.
Yeah, there's still 20 seconds on the game clock. Owen Wright's a good punter. He's got a good amount of room.
He's standing on the 46-yard line in his own side of the field. Two guys back to return for the Storm. Punt is away from midfield, and he drilled that one into the end zone. That'll be a touchback and bring the ball out to the 20.
Now if you're Elkhorn South, you just want to get this goose egg off the board as quick as possible, get some points, leave with a bit of pride, but get as many points as possible on the board and try to not fall as many spots as you think they would.
And the clock is still running, Hunter. It's under near 7 minutes now. That running clock really just eats away at the time you have.
Yeah, especially with this Elkhorn South tempo. They like to run the ball. They like to drain clock, but it is not good in this situation for the Storm.
Riggs takes the snap, man in motion. He gets the ball. He's going to go up the right sideline, and he's going to be tackled in at the line of scrimmage. Bryson Williams on the stop. That'll bring up 2nd and 10.
Madden Riggs only with 54 yards of passing on the game. And the big chunk was to Landon Tate with the 38-yard reception early in the first quarter.
Riggs pulls it back, or hands it off actually to Borngrebe. Borngrebe gets up past the line of scrimmage, gains 4. That'll bring up 3rd and about 4 yards, 3rd and 5.
It's also been a slow day for Elkhorn South's rushing game. Shanahan only has 32 yards, which is a far cry from his usually average of over 100 a game. It's just been a bit shocking for Elkhorn South.
Riggs takes the snap, fakes it off to Borngrebe, rolls out to the right. He's going to keep it himself, pick up the first down, and scamper out of bounds and move the chains. Madden Riggs is not necessarily your typical dual threat quarterback. Hunter doesn't like to run the ball.
Yeah, he had to go a little bit on the outside there, and it looks like they're going to mark him a yard short.
That's quite shocking. 4th and 1. And out there is Madden Riggs. They got to go for it down by 38.
I mean, you really got nothing to lose here.
Fourth and 1. And they're not going to snap the ball. A whistle's going to be blown. And Elkhorn South's going to call a timeout. And Madden Riggs will march off the field. I wonder if they're going to decide to punt now, Hunter, but trailing by 38, you got to find a way to put up points on the board, and punts are not how you do that.
I mean, you really got nothing to lose here if you're Elkhorn South. You're down 38 with 5 minutes left to go in the third. Westside's defense has been stout all game. Maybe do a little trickery, play action pass, maybe an option. Just get somebody to get that 1 yard. They're at the 29-yard line. Wouldn't really consider that 4-down territory, but down 38, you probably need as much yardage as you can.
Down by 38, some coaches would consider any part of the field 4-down territory. And it looks like the offense is the unit on the field right now. They're still in the huddle. 5 minutes left to go here in the third quarter. The clock has just been wasted with that running clock, with Westside up by more than 38.
Yeah, that clock seemed to be stopping a lot in that first half, but already down to 5 minutes. First half took about an hour and 5 minutes, and now this one already maybe like 10 minutes into it, and only 5 minutes left to go in the quarter.
Elkhorn South's going to take a double timeout, which means they use their first and second timeout of the half.
Coach Rothenberg must be really pondering on this decision, as they are going to go for it. A fourth down conversion here for Elkhorn South can set them up with another first down or a stop for Westside.
4th and 1. 4 guys in the backfield, 2 in front of the ball. The ball goes to Shanahan, and he's going to pick up the first down easily, a gain of 6 on 4th and 1. That's one power formation by the Storm.
Yeah, we really haven't seen that much for that many guys in the backfield for Elkhorn South. Pounded it up the middle, got Shanahan just enough room to get that 1 yard and a couple extra. And get as many first downs as you can here for Elkhorn South.
4:30 left to play in the third quarter. Similar formation to the last play. Everybody in the box, 4 in the backfield. Shanahan once again, same hole, and he breaks it free up to the 46. That formation in play, that's the same play back to back, and it's working pretty good.
Yeah, just hit him that 4 hole on the right side of the line, and right there got 9 yards. Make it maybe second and 1 right there. Just a beautiful job by Elkhorn South. Good blocking, get a good amount of chunk plays.
Same formation. 4 guys in the backfield, 2 in front of Riggs. Shanahan in the backfield, and a flag is going to be thrown. That's a false start on the Storm. That'll back him up 5 yards. It'll bring up 2nd and 6 for the Storm. They'll break the huddle, and what a shocker, Hunter. They're in their little tight formation. This time they roll out to the left. Riggs pressure coming. 3 guys back there. He's still on his feet. Picks up the first down and gets out of bounds. Madden Riggs showing a little bit of running ability on this drive. It'll move the chains for the Storm, and they're across midfield.
Three guys coming on his blind side, and he managed just to escape, scurry out to the right sideline, and pick up that first down. Beautiful job. Still in that three set back.
This time Shanahan gets it. Ball's loose. Falls back on it before Christian Jones gets to the ball.
A little bit trouble with that formation. It's been a little bit of trouble here for Shanahan. He lost a fumble earlier, which will result in a scoop and score, and just a little bit of miscommunication on the transfer between Riggs and Shanahan. Not the thing you want to see if you're Elkhorn South. That's going to be studied in the film room.
Shanahan once again finds a hole, gets up to the 39-yard line. That'll bring up 3rd and 5. This little formation Elkhorn South has come out and has really been doing them good work here in the third quarter.
They've just been pounding the rock this third quarter. Passing game hasn't really worked out. We kind of expected this at the start of the game. They've trying to pound the rock as much as they can. They've been doing a good job of it on this drive, handing it off to Shanahan.
They have not left this formation in 6 or 7 straight plays. Shanahan up the middle, gets up past the 40, short of the first down marker. A brief 4th down. I would think they will go for this one as well.
Yeah, this is a bit more 4-down territory for Elkhorn South.
And we're going to have an injured Elkhorn South Storm on the field. We're going to take a quick break here on the WTV Live Network while the trainers attend to the injured player. Welcome back here on the WTV Live Network. The injured player, Seth Whiteley, gets off the field on his own power. Good to see. And 4th and 1. A big play here for both teams on both sides of the ball. And here comes Elkhorn South's power formation. Ball goes to Shanahan, and he picks up the first down, gets up past the 35-yard line.
You know, when Elkhorn South runs that formation, they're going to pound the rock, and they did it there. The second 4th down conversion of this drive, and I believe I think since that double timeout that they took before that first 4th down conversion, they've been running that formation.
I don't see it stopping anytime soon. It's working really well.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Shanahan with the carry. This time not as much running space. Picks up 2 on first down. But the clock just continues to tick inside a minute now. 50 seconds left to play here in the third quarter. Westside 38, Elkhorn South nothing. This time in the backfield is Borngrebe. He gets the carry, splits the middle, up to the line to gain, and they're going to give him the first down yardage.
Elkhorn South's been running the ball really well this drive. That's probably what they've been lacking all game. And this exclusive three-back formation has been really working out for them as they are approaching the Westside red zone with under 20 seconds left to go.
They've thrown the ball once out of this formation. Everything else has been a run in between the tackles. Shanahan gets the carry. This time he goes outside the left tackle, picks up about 4 on first down. And that's going to be the end of the third quarter. Westside 38, Elkhorn South nada.
Still, first time. I don't believe this is the first. I believe this is the first time Westside Westside and their opponent have not scored anything in the quarter. Especially, it's been a good defensive battle on both sides. With the running clock, it's only been about 2 or 3 possessions probably 2 for Elkhorn South and 1 for Westside. And Elkhorn South's been running the ball pretty well this drive, especially with that formation, as we said a lot of times earlier. 2nd and 6, just trying to put points up on the board before this game's over.
38-0. Westside leads Elkhorn South. We're going to stick with you through this quarter break. That might be the first time, like you said, Hunter, neither team has scored in a quarter in a Westside football game so far this season. Westside scores a lot of points, so it's definitely something that I would think is correct.
I agree. Also, I want to mention Elkhorn South before this game only gave up 33 points in total. I know a couple of the touchdowns that have been given up were on defensive scores by Westside, but Westside scored 38. They've only allowed 33 points this season. The most has been 14 to Bell West and Grand Island. And they've won their last 2 games against not great opponents, Omaha South and Burke, 70 and 69-0, respectively.
Tight formation, 3 backs. Shanahan gets the carry, bounces it outside, up past the 15, still fighting, and he's going to be dragged down at the 13 by Bryson Williams.
Westside right now not having an answer to this run defense, as we have another injured player for Elkhorn South.
Justin Stave is the injured player for the Storm. We're going to take a quick break here on the WTV Live Network while the athletic trainers attend to him. Welcome back here on the WTV Live Network. Westside leads 38-0 over Elkhorn South. The Storm are at the 13-yard line, threatening to score for the first time here in tonight's game. They've not left this formation on this drive since the very beginning. This handoff goes to Shanahan, up to the middle. Westside D lineman meets him there for a gain of nothing.
Westside just going to, after that entry timeout, probably going to try to adapt more to this run defense. Show maybe the teams on the film that this formation can't break them.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I was kind of thinking, Hunter. Elkhorn South has a chance to expose Westside some of their weaknesses possibly, and right now this formation has really looked like a weakness. Second pass out of this formation, Riggs rolls right, doesn't have an open man, and he's going to scamper out of bounds at the 12-yard line. Maybe a loss of 1.
Good pressure by the Westside defense, forcing him to roll right. He had a couple seconds in the pocket there, had a couple of receivers. One was definitely wide open for a few seconds in the end zone. Just not enough time in the pocket, and got caught on his blind side, forced him out to his right and pushed him out of bounds. Maybe a gain of 1, but 3rd and 8 here. Key stop for Westside and 4-down territory for Elkhorn South.
Elkhorn South still in the 3-back formation. They hand it off to Shanahan. He cuts back towards the middle of the field. Short of the first down marker. Gets a gain of 2. That'll bring up 4th and 6. Some fresh bodies come out on the field, and Madden Riggs will walk off. That'll bring up a field goal attempt for Elkhorn South.
Elkhorn South just wants to get points on the board. This is a pretty chip-shotty field goal. About, 26 yards. So less than an NFL extra point.
Brody Parks out for this field goal attempt. Clock's still moving inside 10 minutes now. Hold is good, kick is up, and it is good. First points of the game for Elkhorn South. And their crowd actually has something to cheer about now, Hunter.
Yeah, sadly, no Westside shutout. They're still looking for their first shutout. Maybe they can do it against their rivals like versus Crayon Prep, but like you just said, this is the first thing Elkhorn South student section has to cheer about.
It's kind of sad to see, Hunter. When we started this game, they were filled all the way up to the top row and the railing on the other side of the field, and now they're maybe half of that. I mean, that's kind of something we've seen through every game so far this season. But I would say by far Elkhorn South was one of the more confident teams coming into this game against the Warriors. A little bit of rivalry going on Twitter, if you pay attention to that. Back and forth talk going between some fan accounts. And obviously they planted a flag at midfield before they started this game.
I'm kind of happy, actually, that Elkhorn South scored just a field goal because we get to see these two maybe return another touchdown.
That's correct. Keenan Cotton and Tay Jenkins back to return.
Maybe if Tay Jenkins can get enough yardage on this one, he had an initial kick return for maybe about 30 yards. If he can return one of good distance, he could have 100 yards through the air, on the ground, and on special teams, which I don't know how many times people have done that, but it's a pretty good amount. But maybe an onside kick here, actually, for Elkhorn South.
Returners move all the way up to the 20-yard line. An onside kick is caught by Reed McIntyre, and he goes down at the 50. No chance for Tay Jenkins and Keenan Cotton to get a return, but good job on the hands team by Reed McIntyre to get down with the ball. And still a running clock, though, Hunter. It's a 35-point lead.
Yeah, still a 35-point lead. It's going to be running for the rest of the game probably. And then Braylon Warren's going to come back out. Maybe put some more points on the board, maybe not. Just play a style of football even more and give something Lamonti to talk about in the film room.
Those were the first 3 points here in the second half. No scores in the third quarter. Jenkins gets the carry. Left side, still on his feet, fighting. Breaks a tackle up to the 40-yard line, just short of the first down marker.
Tay Jenkins hasn't had that much time in the second half to show his skill, but in the first half he was absolutely electric. Over nearly 250 yards of scrimmage, 127 through the air, and 120 on the ground. But he adds 9 to that and will make it 131 yards on the ground.
Christensen gets this carry. He fights through a couple of Elkhorn South defenders, gets up past the 35-yard line. That'll bring up 2nd and 5.
And this will be Tay Jenkins' 5th 100-yard game of the season. And if he doesn't score for the rest of the game, he'll still have 8 rushing touchdowns and now a receiving touchdown to add to his resume. Maybe some colleges should look at this kid. He's a bit small in stature, but he can be threatening.
Braylon Warren throwing deep over the middle, and it's caught by Mo Purify. Touchdown, Westside.
A little bit of bobble there by Mo Purify, but he makes his first long reception of. He had a screen pass earlier that he took a good distance, but that's one of the first deep passes that Warren's thrown today. Put it perfectly on the money, and Mo Purify could walk in for a touchdown. And now breaking the 40 mark and pending the extra point, 44-3 Warriors on top.
First points of the second half for the Warriors. PAT is good by Ever Shrislin. And Westside leads 45-3 over the third-ranked Elkhorn South Storm. Welcome back here on the WTV Live Network. Westside leads 45-3 over the third-ranked Storm. And the kick is away. This one's a low bouncing kick into the hands, bounces over him, gets up near the 25, still fighting and going down. That's a new kicker for Westside, Lucas Knoll. Westside initially thought they bounced on the ball. Ball might have been loose, but Elkhorn South stays on top of it. And just a quick note, warming up on the sideline is Westside's backup quarterback, so may see him come in during the next drive.
If we even get a next drive, Elkhorn South might just run this clock down, but it'll be good to get the backups in. Maybe a bit of backup defense. No, I think they still got the starting defense out there. I see Warren, DiLorenzo, McIntyre. They're just going to give them as many reps as they can because it's going to be a tough road ahead. Top 10 teams for final 2 regular season games and then playoff time.
Not in the tight formation with 3 backs. That one's going to be a jet sweep off the right side and getting up near the sideline, a gain of 3 or 4 on first down. Braden DePrimo comes around.
Once more, we have to talk about this defense. Elkhorn South's offense has been real dominant all year, and they've put a stop to them. It starts with Gavin Shanahan. They've been stopping him on the inside, and they forced Madden Ricks to throw, and he's thrown it into coverage, and Westside's won the turnover margin.
Pass is looking out to the left. Can't find his receiver. Keenan Schroeder was the one diving for the ball, but Riggs throws it in the dirt. That'll bring up 3rd and 7.
And once more, you got to look at the implications of the standings here. Westside, number 1, number 2 in some polls. Elkhorn South, the definitive number 3 behind Westside and Millard South. What do you think it will be probably here after they win especially with this total margin of victory?
It'll be hard to tell how much they're going to punish Elkhorn South for a win over what appears to be a really good Westside team. And getting down in for the sack, Hudson Mead. And going back to what we were saying, it looks like the punt unit comes out onto the field. A loss to a number 1 team in the state, yeah, it's by 42 as of right now. You gotta be credited for some of that, but I find it hard to believe they'll drop more than 1 spot as of now. Maybe Omaha North or even the Papio La Vista team that Westside plays later in the season, right around that area, that may jump in and take over this 3rd spot. But obviously, Millard South remains number 2, but I find it hard to believe all of the polls won't have Westside 1 come Monday. A good punt booted away over Keenan Cotton's head, and he's chasing it inside his 10-yard line, picks it up near the middle of the field, and he's going to be wrestled down at the 8. What a punt by Brody Parks.
Parks right there just got a great bounce, dropped him all the way to about the Westside 5. Con made one man miss, could not make a second, and got out to about the 10-yard line. Warren with his helmet off, so it is probably going to be the backup offense here. But clock's running, just 4:15 left to go. You want to expect anything more than just probably run the clock out and go home with this big victory. And it will be the backup unit going out for the Warriors.
Jacob Schleifer is the new quarterback for Westside. He played a little bit last week as well against the Fremont Tigers in that big win. This one is going to be a handoff to his running back, and he's going to be pushed backwards inside the 5.
I wouldn't expect Lamonji to have Scheffler throw too much. They're probably just going to hand it off a good amount, especially back at their own 6. And just let this clock drain out, go home with the victory, and maybe be number 1 in the standings for everybody come Monday.
2nd and 13. Schleifer takes the snap, hands it off, and push straight backwards. Elkhorn South fans still up on their feet cheering despite trailing by 42.
even being down 42, Elkhorn South student section still came out. They showed what they could do, and they're still cheering even though they're down 42. The best thing that they probably had to cheer for was maybe a sack or a field goal.
Schleifer standing on his own end zone. He'll hand it off, and getting up to about the 2 before he's tackled down is Noah Frank, a sophomore on this Westside football team. A lot of young guys on that drive, but it's going to result in a punt deep in their own territory. Owen Wall will come out to punt, and he's going to be standing on the back of his own end zone to take this punt. Owen Wall standing on the back line, gets it away, and it's partially blocked. Ball will bounce at the 20 and get up to about the 33, and that's where Elkhorn South will start it. That's a highlight reel play for Elkhorn South, a blocked punt.
Yeah, it's a good block right there. Tipped it enough, but still a lot of punt yardage on that one. Is it? Elkhorn South will start within Westside territory, but not much time left to go. They're going to probably run the clock out before they can get more than a few first downs.
Madden Riggs is no longer in the game for Elkhorn South. The new quarterback out on the field, Joe Fitcher.
We'll give you some score updates here real quick, too. Papio's beating Omaha South 41-14. Lincoln Southeast beat North Platte as we have a timeout by Elkhorn South, their final. Lincoln Southeast had a close one against North Platte, winning by 7. Omaha Central and Papio is a good game, 20-7 with Omaha Central leading in the third quarter. Bryan is beating Benson 42-7. Millard West a shutout against Omaha Northwest 52-0. Kearney and Millard North, two top 10 teams, are locked at 24 in the fourth quarter. North Star and Grand Island, a pretty hot game at 13-7, and then Omaha North beating South Sioux City 41-7. So some other pretty good games going on right now. Kearney, Millard North, Central, and Papio probably the best ones.
Handoff is given, getting up to about the 32-yard line before he's tackled down.
Maybe one more play run here by Elkhorn South, and it'll do it. Maybe a number. It's a nice pass there. Maybe a little nice finisher for Elkhorn South, as it looks like Elkhorn South might looks like they're going to run one more play, but both teams lined up at midfield. They're just going to try for the end zone.
And it's going to fall incomplete, but a flag on the play may result in an untimed down.
Game can't end in a defensive penalty, so there will be one untimed down here for Elkhorn South. Maybe an opportunity to score here at the end of the game for them.
Quick little bit of information. Fremont High School currently leading Creighton Prep 21-14 with a minute 58 in the third or fourth quarter. Can't quite tell. It's not a lot of people out there in Fremont right now for that football game with everything going on.
It is the fourth quarter, so Creighton Prep might be a bit on upset alert.
And Creighton Prep does not have the ball as well. Fremont driving inside their own 40-yard line.
That might be a bit of a morale dipper if they lose going into the Westside game.
Rolling out, still with the football. This is the last play of the game. And the pass falls incomplete, and Westside knocks off, closes this one out 45-3 over Elkhorn South. A really, really dominating game for the Warriors. Stick around with us. We'll have the player of the game come up and talk to us in just a few minutes. Welcome back here on the WTV Live Network. I'm Zach Kastrick. I'm here with our Time 42 player of the game. Back-to-back weeks, Tay Jenkins. Here's your football.
Thank you.
Over 250 all-purpose yards between rushing and receiving. 3 touchdowns to go alongside with that. What worked so well in both the receiving and rushing game tonight?
So, started off, they would blitz on second down for receiving yards, and I would cliff to the other side, and I'll be wide open, and then break a tackle, and then I'll score.
I want to talk about your agility and your speed. There was a couple runs tonight, including the one right before half, which you broke free for a touchdown, that we thought you were going to go down, and we thought they might blow forward progress dead. But you stayed on your feet and fought for those extra yards and even got a touchdown out of it. What makes you so good when you're able to do things like that?
Pushing it back for my teammates. At practice, we're working on keeping our feet moving, and the O-line blocking. That's it.
And then in the return game, you have 2 this year. You didn't get one tonight. They didn't get a kick to you very much because of your defense.
Yeah.
Your defense is so good. What can you say about them on the other side of the ball and how good they do?
We got some good defensive players. They show effort, toughness every game, every practice, and we just focus on brotherhood and 3% better.
We've heard a lot of those mottos. What do those mottos mean to this Westside team? ET, 1% better every day. What can you say about how that team shows that in practice every week?
Everybody just come to practice, work hard. We love each other, love the coaches, and coaches pushes us to work hard.
And then next week, you face your old school, Creighton Prep. You just transferred in from there. What do you want to see out of your team going to Omaha Northwest High School to play that game against Westside's rival and your old team?
Same thing as last week that I said, 3% better every game, and effort and toughness like we played this game.
Will there be any bad blood? We know that's Westside's rival, so there's always a little bit. You got any revenge in you for that game?
Yeah, very much.
Thank you so much, Tay. You got your player of the game ball. I'm Zach Kastrick, player of the game, Tay Jenkins. Thank you all for tuning in tonight. We're off this week, but next week we do have some volleyball action if you'd like to tune in. Thank you all. Have a great night. We'll stay still real quick and get a picture.